Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Today we're checking out The Boy Who Climbed the Shard.
My name's George King, I'm 19 years old.
Oh my god.
I would say I'm an extreme athlete. Ever since I can remember, always so inquisitive about fear.
What are you doing?
Constantly trying to find ways to push my mind and push my body.
What are you doing? No.
I don't know why.
No. Get down. Get down, boy. Who is this maniac?
To push my mind and push my body. I don't know why I do it.
Because you're a maniac.
Really why I climb the shard.
I just don't want something to go wrong.
Hang on. Hang on. What is the shard exactly? A 72-story skyscraper. It's also the second tallest freestanding structure in the United Kingdom. Wow.
Just don't want something to go wrong.
Can security access this route?
I'll get the press there.
It's not safe.
When I was 13, I was on a school art trip. I remember looking outside the window from my coach bus and I saw the shard and I was like, I'm gonna climb that. I'd never seen anything like it. It felt like something had been placed in the present from the future. 6 years later, I decided I'd see if it is doable.
Man.
I remember going there, getting off the tube, looking about, seeing a pillar there, seeing 4 security guards there.
But as I got closer, I started to realise if I do this with speed, if I attack this with precision, I could well get to the point of climb before the security get me.
That really started the adventure of the shard. Probably did over 200 recce's in the space of a year, and that got me down.
I don't know what a recce is exactly. Reconnaissance, maybe? But I guess he's saying that he went there 200 times before he actually tried it, which is actually really brilliant. I thought he was a maniac, but he's something else.
Probably did over 200 recce's in the space of a year, and that got me down a route of wearing different disguises to avoid pattern recognition.
Smart.
So, office worker, this disguise will be used, and I'm going inside the office bit of the shard. Walk around a bit, be on the phone, right? Because if you're on the phone, no one's really going to stop you speaking to him. You're speaking to his business, right? So I'm walking around, no, speaking on it.
On the phone, you sort of...
I'm just mumbling. I ain't saying anything. I'm just mumbling. Once I feel like I've got everything, put the imaginary phone call down into my pocket, Waterloo East, and I'm out there.
I came almost, I don't want to say psychotically obsessed, but it was such a level of obsession that if I was doing anything which wasn't related to the shard,
wow, he is planning.
I would feel that I'm underselling myself. Been an insomniac my whole life. I don't sleep. I also have ADHD, but I've never seen my disorders as a negative thing. I've seen it always as a strength.
Good for you.
There were 3 main friends who were really in on it and really shared the vision.
I don't know if I can get
Sorry, so if you get here,
yeah.
why are you going all the way around here?
I'm doing the climb no matter what. There's no point sort of bringing up the concern that I could die because I'm going to do this no matter what.
Have you thought about using a rope in one hand?
I don't want anything to do with ropes.
And whilst I hate to
Oh
say
my
it, I'm
God.
an advocate of him being more dangerous, but the whole point is that he's just there topless, like climbing like a fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It was this big secret I had, which the shard didn't know about, my family didn't know about, my other friends didn't know about, that was going to become true.
I knew he was going to do something last summer,
Oh,
but I didn't know what it was, and I almost wanted him to just get on and do it.
This poor woman, y'all. This poor woman. He did her a favor by not telling her what he was doing, but this woman must have nerves of steel.
If he's doing a climb, he said to me, "Do you want to know?" And I said, "No, I don't want to know."
Hell no.
I was ready when I was no longer having nightmares of it. Because that told me my subconscious was ready, and if my subconscious was ready for it, then I was mentally ready to do the challenge.
So he had been having nightmares about doing this? I would have stopped planning after the first nightmare.
Was ready, and if my subconscious was ready for it, then I was mentally ready to do the challenge. remember leaving my house in Oxford with this smile on my face, like it's really happening. I got to a hotel where I was staying for the night, just opposite where the Shard is. I was so fired up. The Shard security are going to wake up to the biggest security breach of its time. The police are going to wake up to a potential threat. The media is going to wake up to a breaking story. And I'm going to finally know if I live or die.
Oh, my God. I mean, what kind of mind frame must he be in to know that he could die the next day from his own behavior? I mean, that's kind of exhilarating in some way. That whole time leading up to it, he must have really had this appreciation for life, thinking it might be his last day. I feel for his mum.
But in that moment, I suddenly thought, fuck, have I done enough planning? Is this gonna work? Am I completely out of my depth here? I'm looking outside the window, I'm seeing the fucking Shard and how imposing it is, and I'm thinking, have I done enough? Oof. I came out of my hotel room at around 5 o'clock, walking down the hallway, and I remember getting into the hotel elevator and looking in the mirror. It didn't look like there was something human there.
Oh. He disassociated.
Walking to London Bridge Station, and every sense was just heightened.
Oh, I can only imagine.
The city was just waking up, and I was trying to sneak in. And that was part of the plan, actually, almost to try and get the security when they're not as alert as they should be.
Smart man.
My entry point was London Bridge Station. I went in with a friend, dropped onto the railway. My friend gave me a leg up, pulled myself up onto the ledge of London Bridge Station roof, and I sprinted to the corner of the Shard. As soon as I do that, I'd trigger sensor, so everything needed to be really fast.
Oh.
I needed to get away from the bottom of the Shard as quickly as possible, otherwise the security could nab me.
They're coming for you.
So I used a suction cup to get away from them as fast as possible. Once I was safely away from them, I began my climb from there. Now the majority of the Shard, excluding the bottom and the top, had little holes I can work myself up. So I just needed to sustain my muscular endurance so that when I got to the hard bit of the climb, I would have the potential to do that.
Oh my God.
Despite it being a new experience, I felt like
He's
I'd
up
been
there
before because I visualized this climb for so long. It felt oddly familiar. As I'm climbing up, I'm going through the different levels, the offices, the restaurant, the bar, till I reached a maintenance man. He waved at me, I waved at him. The look on his face and his eyes when he saw me was of just like pure shock. When you're doing something where your life is literally in your fingertips, everything fires at once. Your endorphins, your dopamine, your serotonin, all to optimize your survival in that single moment. And you enter a state where you cannot think about any other things. That's where I feel actually most relaxed when I'm climbing a building and my life's in danger.
Wow.
The climb went from relatively straightforward to quite difficult when I reached the viewing deck. There were no longer pieces of a ladder which I could put my feet into. It was just a smooth panel.
Don't forget, you gotta get back down.
Getting sort of this black sort of smear on them. My feet began to start slipping.
Oh, Jesus.
So I thought the only way I could continue is through momentum to gain traction. So it came as a fight to survive. 20 meters below the tip, I just had to get into the building. If I continued, I would have died. For me, that was not a failure because I couldn't have planned for going above the viewing deck. And I'm a man of a plan, and that's what gave me the satisfaction that I had completed this challenge. And when I eventually came in the building, I put my hands out to get arrested and get cuffed. and they put their hands out to shake my hand.
Heck yeah, man.
I felt afterwards was just out of this world. I was just glowing with joy.
Oh my God. Yeah, you didn't die. Your body's probably like, oh my God, thank you. We survived again. I love that the cops were trying to shake his hand. They're like, we gotta arrest you. Sorry, buddy, but good work.
The shard climb was seen on the news because some people had filmed it on their phones. It was #1 trending on Twitter. No one knew who it was. It was just some guy had climbed the shard. So I thought, I might as well just tell people it was me.
He said, hi, Mum. I said, George, why are you ringing me? And he said, because I just climbed the shard. And I was like, oh, bloody hell, George. I can't believe you've done that. But I'm so proud of you and I'm so pleased you're safe. And that was my reaction. And then I felt completely numb.
She is even-keeled. Even just telling the story, she's like, this is what happened, and da-da-da-da.
I'm so proud of you and I'm so pleased you're safe. And that was my reaction. And then I felt completely numb.
I think there was an element of shock.
Do I really have to have a son who climbs things?
That poor woman.
We don't want to do it.
One side of them is really happy that I'm alive and just kind of proud of me that I've achieved something big. And then the other side is, you know, don't do that again. That's like so f***ing dangerous.
I would love it if you just said, no, that's it. I'm not doing any of this.
Yeah, I know.
So much. It would.
You know what? I almost wish it was like that, but it's just built inside of me.
If I climbed the shard, that is not the way my mom would be talking to me. She would not politely ask me to not do it.
It's just built inside of me.
I just don't want something to go wrong.
When the police didn't arrest me and I was riding such a high, you know, getting connected to a manager, meeting different people, sponsors, TV, that the thought of going to prison kind of became quite distant in my mind until I got an email from the Shard lawyers stating that I will have to go to court.
Had the first hearing, 10:30, went on for about 2 hours. Coming back at 2 p.m. to hear the final verdict, but it's 50-50 going prison or simply getting a fine.
They're gonna send him to prison? That is overkill. I mean, he wasn't really putting anyone in danger other than himself, you know? Right? Or people walking on the sidewalk below him too, I guess.
So we're just waiting on the result. About 40 minutes now. 35 minutes.
You know what, I got cocky, you know, I achieved my dream, I'd done a few things in the press. I'd done it, you know, I wasn't gonna go to prison. They committed me to prison for 6 months.
This man does not deserve to go to prison. 6 months isn't that bad, but honestly, 1 day in prison is a day too long.
During the course of my sentence, I saw someone slit both their wrists and then my neighbor get stabbed. You have to...
See, putting this good-hearted person in a prison where he witnesses these traumatic things, that's totally undeserved. That is harsh.
You have to adapt to survive. I remember the door opening for my release. Hey!
That's a shot in the world again.
I only expected to see my family, and then I saw cameras and like a whole crowd of people.
I'm Brian, and I'm managing the French Spider-Man, Alan Robert.
He said that he shared what I believed in, and he would like to work with me as my manager.
And I'll get the press there so that we cover the whole event.
I really felt on top of the world at that particular moment.
There's a manager for people climbing buildings? I don't trust that guy.
But I just felt like I needed to do something which is the opposite of incarceration, to feel true freedom again.
He's climbing again. No, dude. At nighttime? Buddy.
Been in
Death
my
wish.
cell for so long in prison. I dreamt of being free again every single day, and then as soon as I did just a small climb, I suddenly felt back to normal. I feel like the whole Shard project taught me that I am committed to do these things, that I do have the ability to adapt to a situation, and that is my path. Oh, fuck you.
Wow. I admire his ambition, but one false move and you're dead. His poor mum.
Reborn, mate. Fucking reborn. I haven't not done that for a while. Oh, I forgot how much I miss it.
Done and dusted.
He's such an advocate for people with ADHD. He has literally used it as a superpower.
He just does his own thing.
That poor woman.
You want to get to your deathbed knowing that you fucking gave it your best shot and that you have no regrets whatsoever.
Wow. I'm glad he's out of prison. I admire that he turned his ADHD into an advantage. I think that's very cool. I think he has a great outlook on life. I think he's has some wisdom that a lot of us can learn from. At the same time, what a fucking idiot. And this guy's poor mom. Wow, amazing video. Thank you for recommending. If you have any other recommendations, let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later.